Wastewater or waste materials, both domestic and from industries or factories, should undergo or ideally should undergo a specific treatment or should be subjected to wastewater treatment process um, before it is being released to bodies of water to avoid pollution. So this involves the use of treatment plants, okay, and various methods that removes impurities and dissolve contaminants. In the next few slides, we're going to um, check the different waste treatment facilities in the Philippines as being reported by the DNR. So there are two particular methods that is being used in um, wastewater treatment. Okay, so the first is the primary sewage system, which involves a very simple method of which waste treatment process. And you have also the secondary waste treatment, which includes two processes like activated sludge method and advanced treatment or tertiary methods. Okay, yeah. So in the primary sewage system, it involves a grid chamber, sedimentation tank, and chlorine. So the grid chamber is actually the removal of heavy, fine materials such as sand, gravel, or in wastewater. So this material is also disposed in a landfill. Okay, so lahat na nakokolekta in the grid chamber ay dinidispose din. So you have also sedimentation tank. So in this case, nagkakaroon ng tinatawag na settling process. So other than heavy materials that is being um, um, removed at the grid chamber or grid chamber, so yung hindi na filter dito is will be settled down in the process in the sedimentation tank. Kaya lahat na magfo-forward in the next process ay yung yung water mismo na wala ng particulates kumbaga or medyo clear water na siya. So in the sedimentation tank, nandito yung settling process. So after settling process, we have the disinfection process or the treatment process. Meron ng chlorine na ini-introduce. This is the action of chlorine is actually to remove some of the microorganisms which is responsible um, which could be detrimental to bodies of water or to other organisms, will be pathogenic and nandun sa waste material. So, kailangan mong i-treat yan through the disinfectant na chlorine before it can actually being removed or being uh, disposed into bodies of water. So, we'll expect that after this process, medyo ka nang clean na yung water na pinuproduce or nilalagay at the bodies of water. So that is the primary sewage system. Sa secondary sewage system naman, medyo complex ang process na to. Ayan. So if you have this sewage waste material, so um, they what we so called enter the what we so called aeration tank. Okay, so sa aeration tank may tinatawag na activated sludge. Okay, so in this particular area here, in this step, the wastewater receive most of its treatment through the process of biological degradation. So, merong mga microorganisms dito that will degrade some of the pollutants. Okay? So, these pollutants can be consumed by the microorganisms present in this portion and being transformed into cell tissue, water, and nitrogen. So, the biological activity in this portion occurring in this step or in this process is very similar to what occurs at the bottom of the lakes and rivers. Yung nasa ilalim, nasa benthic part, but in these areas, the degradation takes years to accomplish. Dito naman, ito sa process na to, as compared to the lakes and ponds, ito mas mabilis lang. Okay? So after that one, it could be released. And some of the wastewater na medyo mabigat, na meron pang particulates, will go down. Okay? So, pwedeng ma-dispose sa land disposal area, or yung iba naman bumabalik. Okay? So yung mabibigat na part na lumalabas sa aeration tank, pwedeng ma-dispose sa land, okay, with proper um, design, and some of the water goes back in, yan, para ma-process na rin siya, okay, through aeration and activated sludge. And the rest, yung clean water na ay mapoproduce or pinapalabas na mismo sa wastewater treatment facility on bodies of water. Okay? So next, you have the tertiary method. Ayan, so medyo complicated siya na ano. So, if you have here the reservoir, this is also being used for filtering or processing water for potable system or for domestic purposes. So if you have rivers, lakes, and other reservoir water, and even wastewater, dumadaan siya sa filtering process using aluminum, sulfide, and calcium hydroxide. So these are the compounds that filters the water. So after that one, dadaan siya ng settling basin. So medyo complex yung flow. So in this case, it lets or it ano it um na na ano na-justify niya yung tinatawag na settling process ng mga particulates na nasa water. So pwedeng mga sediments, yung mga silt. So with this complicated process, so pwedeng mag-settle ang silt sediment dito before siya mag-proceed on the secondary settling process or filtration process. So dito naman, meron yung sand filter. Okay? So dadaan siya sa sand filter. Okay? Before yung sa sludge and treatment. So dito, ayan, may degradation pa rin ng microorganisms. And after that one, we have disinfection, the disinfectant, we have the chlorine, and before the deep well, na pwede na siyang gamitin as potable water for domestic purposes or pwede na siyang i-release on bodies of water. So that is the tertiary method. So in the Philippines, we have what is called Water Quality Act under the DANR, particularly the Water Management section of the Environmental Management Bureau. So you have Philippine Clean Water Act of 2004, that is RA 9275, which penalizes any acts of water polluting activities and even set standards on the utilization of different bodies of water for domestic purposes, for leisure purposes, for fisheries, and other use. So Water Quality Act protects the country's water bodies from pollution. So what are the highlights? Okay, so how will water quality be managed? So there are certain classification based on water quality. Kung siya ba ay gagamitin as drinking water, gagamitin ba siya for domestic purposes, gagamitin ba siya for leisure and recreation, just like beaches and other freshwater ecosystem. Okay, so who will manage these areas? So they also determine the jurisdictions or authorities that is being tapped in terms of the enforcement of Water Quality Act. So who are the members of the governing board? Who are the what are the functions of each of the governing board, particularly the different departments of the government? How discharge of wastewater will be controlled, gaya ng sabi ko, yung wastewater treatment process, and how domestic wastewater will be addressed. Okay, so paano mo siya i-design na less pollution or no pollution ang pupunta sa bodies of water. So what are the prohibited acts under RA 9275? Isa lang naman, discharging and depositing water pollutants, groundwater pollutants, and even other water pollutants in different bodies of water. Okay. So what are the government agencies that are involved in the enforcement of Water Act? We have the Philippine Coast Guard, especially for fishing process. Nagbabantay din ang Philippine Coast Guard on yung any pwede kasi na there are instances that may mga basurang itinatapon at the deeper part of the ocean, pwede yung oil, yan. Sila din yung nag-respond on oil spill process pag may lumulubog na barko, most likely the Coast Guard. Yan, sila yung nagko-control ng situation para hindi kumalat yung oil spill mismo, especially sa dagat. So that's the work of Philippine Coast Guard. You have DPWH. DPWH secures a solid waste management process para yung waste disposal ay hindi through bodies of water. So dapat kasama yon ang paglilinis ng mga kanal, waterways ay trabaho din ng DPWH, and of course addressing households that they should not um, dispose their garbage on bodies of water. We have the DA, agriculture. This is the control of the use of pesticides, fertilizers, which can contaminate bodies of water. We have DOH, especially for waterborne diseases. Okay, so aside from waterborne diseases, addressing waterborne diseases, you have also checking on the quality of water for its potability, kung siya po ay naiinom or hindi. You have the DOST, especially for water research, water quality research, kumbaga, yan, water quality research, water assessment na ginagawa on different major bodies of water. So under yan sa research ng DOST. So we have DepEd, DILG, Philippine Information Agency. This is for information dissemination on how to conserve water, and how to eliminate pollutants in bodies of water. So kasama din siya on the government agencies responsible for that process. Okay. So we have here a report. This is from 2019. So the progress of water environment governance in the Philippines, which is presented by Vicente Tudao, a career executive service officer of DNR Mimaropa region. So one of the highlights of this report or progress is this. So we have out of 421 principal rivers, it is considered that 180 are relatively polluted. So most likely near half, or papunta sa 50%. So the rapid increase in population, urbanization, and industrial development has led to the river basin degradation and deterioration, which is due mainly to water pollution. So most probably, kahit sino pa ang tatanungin mo, the rapid increase of human population, and of course, the changing of the lifestyle. Okay? So from rural to urban area, and of course, industrialization has its trade-off, especially for water system, since we are utilizing water. At the same time, we consider bodies of water as our disposal area. Hindi na-change yung mindset, kumbaga. So, medyo na-over-exploit, at the same time, napopollute ang bodies of water. So, these are, yung sabi ko kanina, the location of waste treatment facilities. Most likely that this is within Luzon and nearby provinces. Okay? So, ang alam ko, meron sa Taguig City, Balanga, Bataan, San Miguel, Bulacan, meron din ito. Okay? So, yun. So, andito lang siya. But the rest, wala naman. Walang wastewater treatment. I guess that's the aim of the DNR, to put up several wastewater treatment facility in order to conserve water at the same time and to lessen water pollution. So these are the results of water quality monitoring in priority rivers as part of the report. So you have different regions, ayan, yung mga rivers, and of course the classification, and the DO and BOD. These are two major considerations on the health indicators of bodies of water, kasi dito nakakadepende yung survival ng aquatic organisms. Particularly, you have the dissolved oxygen. Okay? So as you can see, medyo matataas at this particular level. So ibig sabihin, medyo maganda pa ang conditions ng river na to. Okay? So most probably, those are the topics for water utilization and water management. Although this is very overrated and very conventional, so we need to conserve water. It is because water is being recycled through hydrologic cycle. But then again, the impacts of materials that is being that causes pollution to water may impact also those that are using water, especially for humans. Pwedeng pathogens, pwedeng other toxic compounds na pwedeng ma-accumulate sa body ng organisms, especially for humans. So, pwedeng mag-result yun ng um, large impacts. Okay, so most probably we need to conserve water. At the same time, we need to protect our water, bodies of water, since we are dependent on it. So that is for this